Hello, we are happy to welcome to the first lesson of scaffolding. My name is Habineza Michelle.
And I am Harman Gabriel Devot. We are both trainers at Media Activate School.
In this lesson, we shall have 5 videos about planning, preparation, and assembling scaffolding.
Let's now start with preliminary works.
Enjoy the lesson.
Hello everyone, I'm Ben Katabizi, the Carpentry trainer at Media Activate School. Today we have the first session of making wooden scaffolding. The objective of this session is that at the end of this video, everyone shall be able to identify clearly different types of scaffolding and their components. The second objective is that at the end of this video, everyone shall be able to design in a proper way and calculate different materials required for building the wooden scaffolding. My request to you is that you can follow attentively and record some keynotes so that this might help you in the future. Before we do anything, let's first talk about different types of scaffolding. The first type of scaffolding that we can find is trestle scaffolding. The trestle scaffolding is nothing more unless to have the two trestles and you lay on top of them. If they are on the same size, you lay on top of them the platform board or platform planks. The second type of scaffolding that we can find it is called double scaffolding. The double scaffolding is like this. It is called double scaffolding because it is just standing, not being tied on walls or another part. It is also called independent scaffolding. The other type of scaffolding that we can find is single scaffolding. Single scaffolding is just having two standards of one position and the transoms, they are tied into the walls of the building. The other type is cantilever scaffolding. It is just fixed at higher level and allows easy working or workability, but it is fixed into the walls to avoid the consumption of a lot of materials. Means there are no standards. We are having also steel scaffolding. The steel scaffolds, they are scaffolding which are made out of steel. Maybe single scaffold or double scaffold, but which is made out of steel. We are having also suspended scaffolds. The suspended scaffolds, they are mostly used in finishing, or they are needed in finishing, where they are fixed by ropes which are hanging from the top, and the scaffolds are not fixed either on the walls or on the ground, but they are hanging up or suspended up from the top with the tiny ropes. Lastly, we find patented scaffolds. Those are the systems which are used on higher buildings where we need a very long scaffolding which can allow working of many people, and this scaffolding have some stairs to reach to the another platform. Let's now talk about scaffolding components. We are not going to talk about all components, but we are going to talk about common parts of the scaffolding. The first part that you can find it is a saw plate. The saw plate normally it is a beam of wood which is there to transform all the weight so that no side or any part of scaffolding will be penetrating. If it is a soft soil, which will be penetrating to the soil, so that the load can be distributed to the soil. The second part that you can find on the scaffolding is a base plate. In our situation, we don't have a base plate, we are having craters. Normally, a crater or base plate, they are the same. If we don't have craters, if it is not a moving scaffolding, we are having a small piece of wood of this size, then you can fix it at the end or at the ground before we fix the standards. The next part that we have is the standards. The standards, they are those vertical legs or vertical columns which are there to give the stability of the scaffolding. The next part is the reaches. The reaches, they are those longitudinal pieces which are connecting the standards together. Means you can also call them stretchers. Means this is the horizontal piece is connecting the standards together in a long way. Whereas we have transoms, the transoms they are just transversal pieces which are there to connect, of course, again the standards, but in short distance, means in the width. The dredgers in the length, the transoms in the width. Apart of that, we are having cross braces. The crossing braces, they are those pieces which are maintaining the diagonals of the scaffolding. Means we're having a cross brace 1 and a cross brace 2, even on the other side. The next part that we are having, they are couplers. The couplers normally they are connectors of the transoms or the braces, the edges to the standards. In our situation, we have screws. But if it is a steel scaffolding, to connect a metal to the metal, unless if you need to have a fixed scaffolding, but if you need to have a mounting scaffolding, we can use the couplers so that we can connect the transoms and the edges to the standards. The next part that we have, it is the platform. The platform, this is the standing or working area on the scaffolding, where people will stand, where we lay the materials, so that you can be working on any height that will be needing to work on. A part of platform, we are having a toe board. Normally a toe board is a part which is fixed on the platform to avoid that the small material can fall down in case you are working with a very long or a patented scaffolding. The last but not least, it is a guiding rail. The guide rail, they are those pieces. Here we are having two system guide rail. We are having the guide rail upright, and we are having the top guide rail to the tower. These pieces, they are preventing the falling down of the people. Means if I'm working on a higher height and the platform is somehow on the last transom, then I will need to have a guide rail which will prevent me to fall down. The guide rail then, the alloy is there to prevent the falling down of or any accident which can refer to the falling down. Scaffolds can be made out of different materials such as concrete, steel, or timber. As carpenters, we are going to focus on wooden scaffolding. Let's now talk about the designing of wooden scaffolding. In designing of wooden scaffolding, you need to have an idea. Here, the idea we have is that we are going to make a demountable scaffolding which will be moving, which can also be moving. Means we can mount it. We put, if we need to move on the one side, we move it, and we can, when we finish our work, we can demount our scaffolding. In the designing, we first have to think about what will be the picture of the scaffolding. That's why here with the drawing or with 3D drawing, now we are having a general idea of how our scaffolding will be looking like. If this is done, then we need to come on the views. With the views, we need to show a complete views of the scaffolding that we'll be working on. Means we'll show most descriptive sides or most descriptive views. That's why here we have front view, side view, and top view. There are three principal views which are of our scaffolding. If we are having a general idea, now we come to the views to have the rough dimension, what will be the height, what will be the length, and the width of our scaffolding. Next drawing will give us a hint idea or dimensions of the main tower. Means we don't have some parts because this can be shown aside. Then we need to have the dimensions which are construction dimensions. Means we need to have the tower that will be producing. A part of that, we need to show what will be the size, the detailed dimensions on the standard. That's why here we have the standard, and this standard will be showing every single details on this standard. If we have standards, we have the position of ranges and the transforms. Now, the next thing that you have to think or what you have to design is a platform. How will our platform be looking like? Means you have detailed the dimensions and the overview of how the platform will be constructed. We are having the platform bed, the platform top, means with the cutout, and we are having the views of this platform. We have means we as the top is different from bottom. That's why we need to show front part, the side part, top part, and the bottom part. The next drawing will give us an idea of how we are going to cut the ply or the board of our platform. The first was the platform in general, but now how are we going to cut our platform board? As we say that our scaffolding will be moving, then we have, as we are having the tower, we are having a platform, then we have to think about the moving part. If our moving part will have craters, then we have to think about the frame, how the frame will be looking like, what will be the dimensions. That's why here we are having a drawing which is showing the moving part. The size means the sizes and the detailed information of how it will be constructed. Besides, we are having platform rocking clip. It may happen that as it will be moved, the mountable scaffolding, we are not going to fix the platform to the standards. Means our platform will be movable. As we say that our scaffolding will be demountable, means even the platform is not fixed anywhere. That's why we need to think about how can we avoid or can we minimize danger of sliding of a platform. That's why we have to design the rocking clips of this platform. Apart of that, we have to think now lastly how will we put the protection on our scaffolding. That's why we have to think on guide rails. We'll be having two guide rails, means the tower guide rail and the guide rail upright which can be adjustable. If all designing is done, the next thing is the calculation. As you're having all detailed information of the project, now we need to calculate. The things that we will calculate single sizes of the timber, we calculate the timbers, we calculate the iron manganese if they are there, and we calculate all other materials which will be consumed by our scaffolding. That's why first of all we have to have part list, means different parts of our scaffolding, their sizes, their descriptions, and their quantity. Secondly, we have to calculate how many timbers we have. If you have different single sizes, then how many timbers do we need so that you can go to select from our stacking. Another thing that you have to calculate is the iron manganese. What will be the sizes and the quantity of iron manganese that will be used on our scaffolding as these have to be demounted.
Hope you enjoyed the lesson.
Once again, we have learned a lot from this.
As usual, you can find this video on the e-learning website of Rwanda Polytechnic for more repetition.
We welcome you again for the next session.
Until then, stay safe and
Goodbye.